Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Israël terroriste, Canada complice. Israël terroriste, Canada complice. Israël terroriste, Canada complice. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine.
Come closer. What do we want?
Justice!
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution!
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 Israel terroriste, Canada complice.
Israel terroriste, Canada complice!
Israel terroriste, Canada complice.
Israel terroriste, Canada complice!
Israel terroriste, make it complice.
Israel terroriste, make it complice!
Israel terroriste, make it complice.
Israel terroriste, make it complice!
Free,
Palestine!
free.
Palestine!
Thank you. I'd like to welcome a representative from the Algerian student. 1, 2, 3.
Palestine is almost free!
1, 2, 3.
Palestine is almost free!
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians!
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians!
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians!
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians!
In our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians!
Free,
Palestine!
free.
Palestine! Palestine!
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
We extend the biggest salutation to our people who remain steadfast in the face of forced mass starvation, of senseless and sadistic killings, our people who are being slaughtered in their homes, in the land they refuse to leave behind. We salute our people who are being removed from underneath the rubble while still hailing the resistance. We are observing an entire world order shift. From Yemen, who has halted the global economy with their naval blockades, to Lebanon, who continues to withstand Zionist aggression, to South Africa, who has smeared the Zionist entity on a global stage. And while we rejoice in South Africa's show of solidarity, we know that true justice will only be obtained from the heart of Palestine and from the heart of the Palestinian masses. Our message to Deep Saini, Christopher Manfredi, Angela Campbell, Fabrice Labeau, and the Board of Governors who continue to invest $20 million in genocide. If you want to be complicit in genocide and occupation, know that we, the students of McGill, refuse to be. Our adamance for liberation and our unity as a student front is powerful enough to topple the racist system you think you can shackle us in. Let it be known, the more you try to silence us, the louder we chant, and the more you repress us, the harder we push back. Now is the time for students to organize themselves and unite in their demands. We demand divestment. The students across the continent demand divestment and an end to Western complicity, and we refuse to accept anything else. We have the capacity to dismantle the structure of imperialism by challenging the Western war machine, which bankrolls Zionist crimes, by defying the institutions who normalize Zionism like McGill, by leveraging our power not only in Montreal, but within this growing movement of global anti-colonial resistance. We must push ourselves to the maximum, past the repression and intimidation tactics, past the Zionist lies and propaganda. We must push without an ounce of fear. Are we scared?
No!
Are we scared?
No!
We have rallied for 17 consecutive weeks, demanding a permanent ceasefire, demanding that the siege be lifted, that the borders open. But our people have rallied for 75 years, demanding liberation. And they have never lost hope, they have never lost passion, they have exposed the cowardice and failures of the occupation. They have taught the entire world that the Palestinian people are unbreakable, invincible, and thirsty for victory. I want you all to repeat after me. The fight continues.
The fight continues.
Beyond divestment.
Beyond divestment.
Beyond a ceasefire.
Beyond the ceasefire.
Until our prisoners are free.
Until our prisoners are free.
Until Gaza is free.
Until Gaza is free.
Until every inch of Palestine is free.
Until every inch of Palestine is free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Louder, louder. Okay. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
McGill, take a stand.
McGill, take a stand.
Full support stolen land.
Full support stolen land.
McGill, take a stand.
McGill, take a stand.
Full support stolen land.
Full support stolen land.
McGill, take a stand.
McGill, take a stand.
Full support stolen land.
Full support stolen land.
McGill, you can hide.
McGill, you can hide.
We tried you with genocide.
We tried you with genocide.
McGill, you can hide.
McGill, you can hide.
We tried you with genocide.
We tried you with genocide. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
When Palestinians are oppressed.
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 Boycott, sanction, and divest.
Boycott, sanction, and divest.
When Palestinians are oppressed.
When Palestinians are oppressed.
Boycott, sanction, and divest.
Boycott, sanction, and divest.
When Palestinians are oppressed.
When Palestinians are oppressed.
Boycott, sanction, and divest.
Boycott, sanction, and divest.
We want action.
We want action.
We want action.
We want action.
We want sanctions.
We want sanctions.
We want sanctions.
We want sanctions.
We want boycotts.
We want boycotts.
We want boycotts.
We want divestment.
We want divestment.
We want divestment.
Divest now.
Divest now. Divest now. Divest now. Divest now.
Louder.
Divest now.
Louder.
Divest now. 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 Divest
I'd now like to welcome a representative from Independent Jewish Voices to give a few words.
Hello, everyone. Our names are Alice and Hugo, and we stand here today as members of the Jewish community and Independent Jewish Voices McGill.
Since October 7th, my Jewish peers and I have seen the McGill administration consistently weaponize our identities to justify their support for the genocidal Israeli entity. Most recently, in the lead up to International Holocaust Remembrance Day, McGill admin sent out an email of commemoration. Yet, instead of honoring the legacies of his countless victims, the Jews, the Roma people, individuals with disabilities, members of the LGBTQ community, and Jehovah's Witnesses, they took the opportunity to conflate October 7th and the Holocaust, insinuating that it was a result of anti-Semitism rather than decades of blockade, injustice, and occupation.
Their duplicitous framing insinuated that Israel's ethnic cleansing and assassinations of Palestinian civilians are justified. We stand here today to voice our demands for justice, for divestment, for our university to condemn genocide. Just as student activism forced McGill to divest from apartheid South Africa in the 80s, once again, we will leave the administration no choice but to stand on the right side of history.
And what words can we use to describe our political leaders who willingly suspend funding for UNRWA as the backbone of humanitarian support for millions of displaced and starving Palestinians? Their complicity comes despite knowing full well that the International Court of Justice has affirmed the possibility of genocide.
Shameful nor shameless do not even begin to express the inhumanity and callousness of their complicity in the unparalleled human suffering in Gaza.
No matter these leaders' lies, propaganda, or dehumanizing rhetoric, there is no excuse for collective punishment. There is no excuse for the indiscriminate carpet bombing of civilians, mosques, and universities. There is no excuse for forced evacuation or colonizer resettlement. There is no excuse for the use of white phosphorus. There is no excuse.
represented by the forces that murder, dehumanize, and displace our Palestinian brothers and sisters. It is represented by all of us who have stood for centuries for the values central to our faith of chesed, benevolence, and tzedek, justice, knowing full well we must work towards tikkun olam, the healing and correcting of the world. And so that, with that, we say, Son!
Solidarité avec la Palestine. 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 Solidarité avec la Palestine.
Viva, viva Intifada!
Viva, viva Intifada!
Viva, viva Intifada!
Viva, viva Intifada!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Louder, louder!
We see it all over the world. And when the government isn't listening and the people in power aren't listening, look around, you rise up. All around the city are rising up against the tuition hikes. They're challenging local governments about unfair housing practices. You are challenging racist laws like Law 21, and you're rising up to support the people of Palestine. You're showing your solidarity, you're showing your sadness, you're showing your anger, and you're showing your love. So last time I stood here, I said that Palestinian American poet Sabir Hamad told us she knows better than to believe what she's told. And from what I know, teaching at McGill, is that you know better than to just believe what you're told. Students in Montreal know better. Students all over Canada know better. All over the world, you know better. An MVP elected official in Canada in a ministerial position for higher education has referred to publicly Palestine as a crappy piece of land. So you might have also followed the news that Minister Selena Robinson, quote, corrected herself, and that she, a minister of post-secondary education, said instead that Palestine is, quote, a land that has limited natural resources. For correction, we need to educate this minister of higher education. But let's just take a minute to remember that we here all know that Palestine is not a land with limited natural resources. Palestine is a land and a people full of natural resources. If Palestine is lacking natural resources, it could be because they're being decimated. The land, the trees are scorched by bombs, white phosphorus, toxic chemicals. Are people not natural resources? Human resources? The people of Palestine, and especially in Gaza right now, are being murdered, starved, dying of preventable diseases because of the destruction of a healthcare system by the occupation. We are here as professors to support you and all other people of conscience around the world to say no. No. We are gathered here to challenge colonial education systems that produce ministers of education that can assert blithely in front of cameras that Palestine is a crappy piece of land with natural limited resources. These are resources that have been sought after and stolen for 75 years. Destroyed currently by an occupation army. We must connect this decimation of the purposeful destruction of higher education in Palestine today by the occupation. The occupation is targeting and murdering academics, intellectuals, and poets. Professors like us are being murdered. Universities like ours have been bombed and completely razed to the ground. Schools have been turned into rubble, and this is not just happening in Gaza. Throughout the West Bank, universities have been regularly invaded by occupation forces. Classrooms are interrupted. People's lives are thrown into disarray. Students, professors have been rounded up, detained without charge, imprisoned, and torn from their lives. The occupation is trying to destroy not only the physical landscape of Palestine, but its people on all levels. And this includes professors, intellectuals, students, and poets. It's not that academics are more important than any other people, but the purposeful destruction of academia is meant to stifle generations of people. Murdering poets is designed to kill people's hope and their souls. So in our class yesterday on Poetry from Gaza, we learned from these poets. Students discussed life, death, loss, martyrdom, a bunch of different things. And we also discussed love. And you're here today because you're angry, and because you're sad, but because of your love. And we will never let the words and the teachings, the poems of our Palestinian comrades, colleagues, siblings, and friends die. We will keep them alive. Your colleagues from Concordia recited Palestinian poetry last week in the downtown demonstration loudly in front of Concordia University. And we will keep learning and shouting out the words of Palestinian poets here and everywhere. Culture, tradition, poetry, and love from Palestine alive amidst the genocide. And while it's not only poetry that can save Palestine, it can help us hold on to our love and our sadness and our rage all together. So in the words of Mahmoud Darwish, in a poem written in the voice of an indigenous person addressing the colonizer, Allah يحفظنا قليلا من الشعر كي تقيفوا المذبحة. Why not memorize a little poetry to stop the slaughter? We continue to ask this question to the colonizers, the genocide supporters, to Selena Robinson, to our institutions, to McGill, to all those who support them as we stand together, memorize our poetry, march and shout until Palestine is free from the river to the sea.
Brick by brick.
Repeat after me, okay?
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick,
Wall by wall.
wall by wall,
The occupation's gonna fall.
the occupation's gonna fall.
Brick by brick. Wall by wall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall,
The occupation's gonna fall.
the occupation's gonna fall.
Brick by brick. Wall by wall. The
Occupation's gonna fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, the occupation's gonna fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, the occupation's gonna fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, the occupation's gonna fall.
brick by brick.
Wall by wall, the occupation's gonna fall. Palestine is our demand.
No peace on stolen land.
No peace on stolen land.
Palestine is our demand.
Palestine is our demand.
No peace on stolen land.
No peace on stolen land.
McGill, McGill, take a stand.
McGill, take a stand.
Don't support stolen land.
Don't support stolen land.
McGill, McGill, take a stand.
McGill, take a stand.
Don't support stolen land.
Don't support stolen land.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
McGill, McGill, you can. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
in power will not acknowledge. When the administration speaks, it uses its voice, its platform, its words to silence, suppress, and sanction Palestinian students and their comrades. In Montreal, in Quebec, in Canada, politicians and the media have participated and continue to surveil, harass, and erase the Palestinian struggle. They will listen to the ICJ, except if it is South Africa's case and Israel pursuing a genocide. We cannot trust anyone with this kind of platform who clings to neutrality, to objectivity, and to both sides. The administration, the media, and our elected officials have already chosen their side, and they chose it decades ago. They claim to be accountable to the people, but they are only accountable to empire. By coming to this walkout and to the 17 weeks of protest, you have chosen the side of courage and of liberation.
No peace on stolen land. There is only one solution. Intifada, 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 intifada. Long live the intifada. We want sanctions! We want sanctions! We want divestment! We want divestment! We want divestment! We want divestment! We want action! We want action! We want action! We want action! We want boycotts! We want boycotts! Israël terroriste grave complice! Israël terroriste grave complice! Israël terroriste Canada complice! Israël terroriste Canada complice! Israël terroriste Occupation no more! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! That's how we will liberate! Free, free, free Palestine! Israël, casse-toi la Palestine n'est pas à toi! Israël, casse-toi la Palestine n'est pas à toi! Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine is almost free. From the river to the sea, Palestine is almost free. Solidarité avec la Palestine. Solidarité avec la Palestine.